Alrighty, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. I wanted to pop on really quickly and give you an update for some possible severe weather that could be impacting you overnight. It's very imperative that you know that whenever we have these storm systems come in late at night, especially once the sun goes down, once you're getting ready for bed and getting ready to go to sleep, you need to make sure that you have multiple ways of communications, especially if you fall asleep a little bit early. Right now outside, not much activity going on across the southeast. In fact, there was a severe thunderstorm warning right on the Texas and Oklahoma state line there, but that is about it. And taking a little bit closer look at home, you can see we are dry outside all across the Mid-South. That doesn't mean let your guard down. We are definitely anticipating those strong storms to really start to take form in the next 2 hours for sure. Take a look at our severe weather alerts. We don't have any just yet. In fact, the only thing that we're seeing across the southeast is that severe thunderstorm watch, that pink area there on your screen. We are anticipating a possible tornado watch to be issued for the Mid-South. There's definitely about a 60% chance that they will issue that. And that is because we are in a level 3 for pretty much the entire viewing area for tonight going into your Thursday morning. We have several storm threats that we are paying a close attention to, including tornadoes overnight. Let's time out the next 12 hours for you. What can you expect? You can start to see the cloud cover still kind of being thick over the next few hours. And there we go. We call these supercells. And when we see supercells develop like this, we're definitely anticipating high winds, little pockets of heavy rainfall, and maybe even some possible tornadoes to develop. And those are really strong storms because they're out front of that cold front as it approaches. You can see at 9 p.m. North Mississippi, you guys will be the first ones to get this storm. And that's because the storm is definitely passing northward. So it's not our normal west to east storm system that we usually see across the Mid-South. Hour by hour at 11 p.m., more heavy rainfall, more possible supercells developing. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock in the morning. Still strong storms are anticipated. And in fact, at 2 a.m., you can start to see even more supercells in North Mississippi, even a little bit past the Metro Memphis area in Shelby County. So definitely want to make sure you're weather aware all across the Mid-South. This is not just a North Mississippi event. This is not just an Arkansas event or West Tennessee event. We are advising that everyone is prepared for this storm system because it is coming overnight, and those are usually the most dangerous of the storms, especially here in the southeast. You see around 5 a.m. things start to clear up just a little bit, but still strong storms very close to our viewing area. So you want to make sure that you're allowing a little extra time in the morning as you head out to work, because that is definitely another factor you have to factor in. Definitely wet roadways in the morning. The winds will be high with this event. In fact, we could see wind gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, which means that with the wet saturated ground, we could be seeing some possible trees blowing over. Maybe even some hail possible with this system as it develops. Rain, not much of a threat. However, we got rain yesterday. We could be seeing up to around ½ of an inch of rain today. With those grounds really being saturated, that'll really cause some of those trees to topple over. Right now outside, our winds aren't even that high. So we're not under a wind advisory like we used to be. So that doesn't mean that the winds won't be high. We're just waiting for this system to continue to develop. Here's a look at our rainfall totals over the next 3 days. It's really over the next 48 hours. So we could be collecting another inch here in the Metro Memphis area. But some places in North Mississippi could be collecting upwards of 2 inches. And that's because you all will be getting the heaviest of the rainfall. So keep that in mind as well. Here's a look at hail sizes. It's very important for you to know what is considered severe size hail. So anything over a quarter. So a size of a quarter, that is severe size hail. Whenever we see that kind of being radar indicated, there will be a severe thunderstorm warning issued for that size hail. And it could definitely be causing damage to windows or anything that's left outside. It's very important you also know the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch means we're watching the weather. It means that we could definitely see a possible thunderstorm or a possible tornado. So you definitely want to know the difference. Know where you could seek shelter if you need to. Make sure you have multiple ways to get warnings in case a warning is issued. A warning is definitely more severe than a watch. That means that you should take action. A storm has been spotted on the radar, and it could definitely produce a strong, severe thunderstorm, or even a tornado. If there is a tornado warning issued, you definitely want to go to the interior, the lowest floor of your home, get away from those windows, make sure you're staying as safe as possible, have multiple ways of getting communications, make sure you have your shoes. I know that might seem a little bit silly for you, but overnight, whenever we see these storms really develop, if you're sleeping and you hear those sirens outside, you definitely want to put on your shoes and go to a very low place, get away from those windows. And don't just rely on tornado sirens. Make sure you have an app. Our app will give you notifications if a warning is issued. Make sure that you have maybe your alerts turned on your cell phone. You can do that in your settings. There's multiple things that you can do to make sure that you are prepared ahead of this storm. If you happen to be in a car or maybe even a mobile home, you definitely want to get to a safer place before the warning is issued. If a watch is issued, go ahead and make that transition then. Make sure you're aware of when those shelters are open in your area. Here's a look at some thunderstorm safety items. Make sure you're staying indoors. Don't go outside. Don't try to take any pictures or any videos. We want you to be as safe as possible. Charge your cell phones and have flashlights available. If you lose power and it's the middle of the night, it's going to be very dark in your home. Make sure you have a way to see around that. And you definitely want to avoid electrical equipment and any contact with your water. So go ahead and take your shower early tonight around 6 or 7 o'clock so you don't have to worry about being in that water in case lightning does strike. Now here's a look at your 7-day forecast. What can you anticipate after the storms tonight going into your Thursday? Temperatures will be falling. In fact, all day long, our temperatures will be falling on Thursday. So even though our high will be near 54 degrees, we'll start to see things really cooling off throughout the day. We'll be into the upper 40s by your Friday. We'll be dry until around Tuesday of next week. So definitely make sure that you're being very weather aware tonight. That is the big game for us. Right now, we are not under any watches or warnings, whether that's severe or tornado, but we are anticipating a tornado watch to be issued for the Mid-South. Make sure you have notifications on your phone and make sure that you already have a plan in place for your family. If you have any questions about what the weather might be, we're going to go on in about 10 minutes here on ABC 24 at our 6 o'clock newscast, or you can send me a message on Facebook. I am monitoring my messages right now before the weather gets too bad. Well, that's about it. I'll wrap up our live stream for right now. Make sure that you have our app. It is free in our